Hi, Brittany Lund with the Gift and Home Channel. We're here with Bob Coviello of HGI Buying. You have such an understanding of the process of selling, yet there seems to be a part of that goes to the inhibition of selling that happens with the process of selling. Talk to us about the sales process.
I think what happens in the sales process is that people realize it's as simply as having someone be a guest in your home. When someone comes to your house, the first and most natural thing for you to do is to welcome to your home and say, hi, it's good to see you again, and start your conversation. And what you have to do when you want to sell is you basically have to engage the customer.
Now, I would have no problem opening the door and greeting someone in my home, yet psychologically there seems to be a big difference between greeting someone in my home and actually greeting somebody on the sales floor to actually buy a product.
And I think what happens is there's a fear, Brittany, that they're not going to be able to handle it, right? There's a fear of what is this person going to ask me? Am I going to be able to handle the question? There's also the biggest fear is fear of rejection. And that's why so often I always tell people don't walk up to the customer and say, may I help you? Because chances are they're going to say no immediately. And you're going to then experience rejection. And when, of course, you've experienced that rejection, it turns you off mentally. And you don't feel that you can go any further. You end up walking away. You probably end up losing the sale.
What would you say to encourage retailers to get beyond the fear of rejection and more into the confidence of the process?
Well, first of all, the first step is getting the greeting as soon as you have the opportunity to do it. And I prefer not to use the greeting where you're standing there at the door and you're waiting for them to come through and you're, hi, how are you type thing, but rather approaching them as if you would approach someone that you've not seen before. If they're looking at cookware, there's nothing wrong with you saying, isn't that beautiful cookware? Or I own some of that cookware, and engage the customer in the conversation. Get beyond the situation where you're not going to be shut down by that customer.
You say, how may I help you, is a clutch phrase. It's pretty much death in a sale. That's so common though. What advice would you give retailers to get beyond that habit?
You can get out of that habit simply by not taking a normal approach of I've got to immediately get that customer to a selling point. What you want to do is you want to engage them. You want to say something to the effect about what they're looking at, for instance, or what they're picking up, or take them someplace. If they come in and if they've come to your store, chances are they want to make a purchase, right? Unless they're just browsing, right? And even if they're just browsing, they're likely to ask you a question and talk about the question that they ask you, where, I want to have garlic presses today. I want to look at garlic presses, for instance. Take them to the garlic presses and say, oh, I got 6 different ones I want to show you. Don't point. Don't cut yourself away from the customer, but stay with the customer.
Now, is there a balance in the sales process of how much to stay with the customer and how much to just let them buy on their own?
Well, once you've engaged a customer and you've got them working on a product, you're probably going to take them all the way to the sale. The balance is you don't follow them around. They don't want to be followed. I mean, the self-service aspect of selling is something that we do too much of. Most customers who come in to shop in our stores don't know anything about the product. They're looking for someone to give them some knowledge about the product, some assistance and service. How do I use it? Does it have a warranty? Why should I buy this product over another product? So if you disseminate product knowledge to them and talk to them about how it works, all right, and show them how it works, they're likely to engage you rather than you having to worry about engaging them.
What kind of success have you seen with people you've worked with in terms of getting them comfortable on the sales floor?
Pretty good once they get doing it. What we try to encourage them to do is to get into a team effort in the store where they actually have set up themselves as 3-person teams for practice at an employee meeting. Have one customer be the consumer, another one be the salesperson, and the third one actually be the critiquer. All right, and then just actually go through the process and find some basic questions to get themselves engaged with the customer.
It all seems very logical, yet I can see how it requires some training just for people to get comfortable with it.
Yeah, and we actually try to teach people to spend the time, do a lot of that role playing. And what's very important, and one way to really make it work, is to make sure that when you do it, the day that you do it, that everybody plays every role. And that every person, when they are a consumer, is buying a product and no one has any idea what they're going to buy. So it's a first-time exposure to the person who's selling it, a first-time exposure to the critiquer. Once they get to a point where they're totally relaxed, they'll just do it naturally.
Bob, great information. Really helpful tips in helping retailers get comfortable with the sales floor and the whole sales process. We really appreciate you taking time to talk with us.
Okay, great talking to you today, Brittany.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Brittany Lund with the Gift and Home Channel. Stick around for more.